From Central Delhi, we bring you this investigative sequence. My colleague Soumya was in Central Delhi last night, all of last night until 5 a.m. this morning, tracking the construction activity, showing construction how it's on. Construction workers caught red-handed, supervisors caught red-handed, and major construction sites in the heart of the national capital. For the first time, they told you construction was banned 48 hours ago, but as we speak, this is not just any normal home construction, ladies and gentlemen. These are mega projects, which, by the way, were supposed to stop. As per the circular that I have in my hand, this was supposed to stop 48 hours back. AQI has crossed 400 this morning once again, but the work continues. It's business as usual in Central Delhi.
Here we are in the heart of Delhi, in Sarojini Nagar, where despite Grafo, you can see people running there and hiding. कैसा काम चल रहा है भैया इधर? It is one of the sites located here, one of the construction sites located here in Sarojini Nagar, wherein the construction work was underway. When we tried to speak to the people here, the guards here, 3 to 4 guards specifically have been assigned for that, and they denied that any such activity was being undertaken. While we tried to speak to the laborers also when they were on this particular crane thing, and when we tried to confront them, they ran away. Let's see inside, where all people have been deployed here and still working because people are in hiding. There are many such locations here in the national capital wherein, despite the restrictions, because of the increasing AQI, because of the increasing pollution, despite that, Grab 4 restrictions also in the place, people have been working, and it is under the nose of the Delhi government that it is still happening. Mind you, this is one such location. We tried to speak to the people here, but they ran away. We'll try and look out for laborers who ran away when we tried to question them about what they were doing. As you can see, the construction process was in full process because the smoke and everything is still very much as if they were. It was started very recently. The lights are on. Everybody has just the moment they got to know that we are here, they've gone into hiding, and it is very clear that under the nose of the Delhi police, the authorities, and the Delhi government, the construction works are still underway.
In fact, we are told that these are not just normal projects, these are huge projects that are underway. Cameras show how construction work was on in full swing. Trucks, which are, by the way, as per this notification that I have in my hand, just hold on, let me show you. This notification that I have in my hand is a government notification, and it reads, let me read out a line of this. It says, entry restrictions on vehicles registered outside Delhi, restriction on vehicles carrying construction material. It says there is a strict ban on plying of Delhi registered diesel vehicles, BS4 and below, heavy goods vehicles. But you see trucks, concrete mixers, slabs being ferried on heavy duty trucks in the heart of Delhi. This is overnight. Take a look.
भैया क्या चल रहा है ये तो अभी तो बंद है ना कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्क्स?
कहाँ पे?
पूरे जगह में, पूरी दिल्ली में ग्रैब 4 लगा हुआ है, कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्क बंद है।
सर तो ये परमिशन है सर।
कैसे परमिशन है? ग्रैब 4 में कैसे परमिशन हो सकता है? ग्रैब 4 इज इन well, we are here in central Delhi, one of the biggest projects here of the central government, and you can see the people we have tried to question here. They're saying that they have the permission has been granted for the construction work here. However, despite the Grab 4 restriction in place, it is well within the vicinity of central Delhi, where surrounded by houses of some of the senior most leaders, senior most politicians serving here in our country, MPs here, and this is one such location wherein the construction work is in place. सर बट कंस्ट्रक्शन तो मना है ना सर?
मना है।
क्या मना है सर? बट कंस्ट्रक्शन तो मना है ना? कैसे कंस्ट्रक्शन कर रहे हैं? बताइए सर।
कोई जवाब नहीं दे सकता आप इसको अभी।
बट आप ये कैसे जवाब नहीं दे सकते सर? पूरा प्रॉपर आवाज आ रहा है, कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्क चल रहा है। ये कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्क तो मना, अभी ग्रैब 4 है।
अरे आपको अलाउ नहीं है मैडम, प्लीज कृपया करके आप थोड़ा सा।
तो आप मेरे को बता दीजिए, मुझे अलाउ नहीं है। बट ये
तरफ से मैडम अलाउ नहीं है आपको।
ये सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का इतना बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है, यहाँ पे कैसे अलाउड नहीं है सर? I understand, sir. If photography is not allowed, please tell me how is the construction work underway? आप मेरे को बस सिर्फ इतना बता दीजिए कि जब ग्रैब 4 है लगा हुआ, तो एक सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का प्रोजेक्ट कैसे चल रहा है?
वो परमिशन दिखाओ, बाद में बात करेंगे आपके।
आप इन्होंने मुझे भी बोला कि आपको परमिशन।
कैमरा बंद करवाओ आप।
Well, see, everybody is dodging the question and they're not ready to answer the question. This is well within central Delhi, surrounded by the government houses of the senior most leaders. This is one of the projects of the central government wherein the construction works are still underway. And this is our exclusive report from here in central Delhi.
And in one part of the investigation, she confronts these supervisors, and they show how high-capacity motors are found running through the night, which confirms that construction perhaps is on in the heart of Delhi. These large projects haven't really stopped. And the reason why we are showing you this investigation is because we've crossed 400. AQI has crossed 400, and there is an urgent need to stop all construction activity. GRAP 4 has been imposed, but the joke is on all of us because GRAP 4 applies to all of the national capital except those in power. Take a look.
कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम मना है, अभी क्यों काम चल रहा है?
मना है।
आपको ये बात नहीं पता कि कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम मना है अभी? ऐसा तो हो नहीं सकता, ये हर जगह रूल्स लागू हैं कि ये कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम चल नहीं रहा है। कैसे मालूम नहीं था? आप किधर काम कर रहे हो?
ये करते हैं
इधर अंदर पूरा काम चल रहा है अभी?
नहीं, बंद हो चुका।
नहीं तो अभी तो फिर आपको अगर बंद चला होता तो आप ये मेरे से पूछते नहीं कि मना है कि नहीं है, मतलब चल रहा है काम इधर। आप रात के 1:45 बजे आप यहाँ पे काम कर रहे हैं, आपको पता नहीं है कि ये पोल्यूशन की वजह से जो रेस्ट्रिक्शंस लगे हैं उसमें कंस्ट्रक्शंस के काम एकदम रोक दिए गए हैं।
मुझे नहीं पता था, तभी तो कम।
तो आप इसीलिए आप अभी काम कर रहे हैं इधर?
बंद हो जाएगा तब मालूम हुआ।
तो अभी कितने बजे तक आपका काम है इधर?
अब नहीं होएगा तो मालूम होगा, बंद हो जाएगा।
नहीं, कितने बजे तक काम होगा?
वैसे सुबह लोग चिंता है।
सुबह तक कितने बजे तक?
5 बजे तक।
और रोज काम चल रहा है इधर? ये सरकार का ये रेस्ट्रिक्शन पिछले हफ्ते आ गया था कि जितनी पोल्यूशन बढ़ रही है उसकी वजह से जो चीज़ें लागू की गई हैं उसमें कंस्ट्रक्शन मना है, तब भी उसके बावजूद ये पूरे हफ्ते काम चला है इधर?
पता नहीं, मुझे मालूम नहीं।
आप यहाँ पे कितने दिन से काम कर रहे हैं?
मुझे तो कल आए हैं
यहाँ पे। और कल काम हुआ है इधर?
हाँ, हुआ था थोड़ा बहुत।
कितने बजे तक काम हुआ था इधर?
5 बजे तक।
सुबह के 5 बजे तक।
And ladies and gentlemen, at several points in this investigation, the supervisors come up and say that they were given a slip. Some say they were given permission from the construction companies. Now, there are serious questions that arise. Now, if GRAP 4 has been imposed in the national capital, and there was a notification given out about 48 hours back, which also, by the way, bans public projects, and we have details of it. In fact, here it says, and I'm reading out for you, ladies and gentlemen, ban C&D activities, construction activities, also for linear public projects such as highways, roads, flyovers, overbridges, power transmissions, pipelines, telecommunication, etc. Now, if it is banned, how is it that construction is still on in central Delhi, all of central Delhi? It's proven, it's on camera. Take a look.
तो आप लोगों को नहीं पता है कि ये ग्रैब 4 लगा हुआ और यहाँ पे काम नहीं कर सकते?
जो हमको सरकार बोलेगी तभी मानेंगे, हमको तो बस बोलते हैं ले जाओ तो हम लेके आ गए यहाँ।
तो सरकार के ऑर्डर्स हैं आपको?
हमको तो कार्ड बना के देते हैं LNT का, वो कार्ड बोलते हैं ले जाओ काम करो जाके बस।
This was one of the responses from one of the laborers here working, and clearly they have a permission, they have a grant, because of which, despite restrictions being in place, they are successfully undertaking the construction works. Here you can see behind me how everything is in place. All the construction machinery is also in place, and the construction work is in full swing, while the national capital is suffering every day with bad pollution. The condition is worsening by each day. The AQI is going down by each day, because of which the restrictions were put in place. However, this central government project and the construction work here is still on despite the restrictions in place.
And construction work was underway with trucks continuously on the move. Concrete mixers bringing in construction material right in the heart of central Delhi. Now, this is despite clear restrictions. Concrete slabs were ferried openly at a site. We were at the site when it happened. And ironically, this particular site was bang opposite a police station. So the police also knew. Take a look.
This is another location in this vicinity where the restrictions are being flouted despite the restrictions in place. This is third location here in the same vicinity wherein the construction works are underway. The said vehicles which are also restricted, they are also in a place. The moment they saw the movement of these panels stopped immediately when they saw our camera. But this is one such location in a very close perimeter wherein the construction work, you can see this is how these things are being taken. You can see is a police station here in Sarojini Nagar, and here in the backdrop is one such location wherein the construction works are underway in full swing. Mind you, the restrictions, despite the restriction in place which completely restricts construction work, despite that construction works are underway. So it is very clear, it is under the nose of the Delhi government that despite the restrictions, despite the increasing AQI, the worsening level of AQI, the pollution, the construction works are still underway in full swing under the nose of the Delhi government, wherein in the close proximity we also have the police station. However, there's nobody to stop these construction works despite the restrictions in place.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is the sequence where they see us. The moment they see the Republic TV reporter and the Republic TV mic, the supervisors begin to run, the construction workers begin to run, but they admit that construction has been on in the heart of Delhi. Let's show you why this is banned. If you're watching this, what we are showing you is openly rules being flouted. Who allowed the construction is the big question, because all construction is banned in Delhi under GRAP 4 for the last 48 hours that has been in place. And despite that, given the severe levels of pollution, all heavy vehicles are banned, but you are seeing in our reports these heavy vehicles roll into central Delhi. Not just one or two vehicles, trucks, hundreds of them. Vehicles carrying construction materials are supposed to be banned under GRAP 4. But you are seeing them in the hearts of central Delhi. And under GRAP 4, all linear public projects are supposed to be on hold. But despite that, you are looking at the visuals of construction being allowed in the national capital. I'm going across to this report. In this report, you can see them run. You can see them run the moment they see the Republic TV camera. This is the moment when we confronted them while construction was on.
अच्छा, अभी भैया काम चल रहा है क्या इधर? पूरा काम चल रहा है, आवाज आ रही है. ये आवाज कैसे आ रही है? ये पूरा आवाज आ तो रही है. काम कर तो रहे हो आप? पूरी हो रही है ये फोटो. ये पूरा काम चल रहा है. Here we are in the heart of Delhi, in Sarojini Nagar, where despite GRAP 4 you can see people running there and hiding. कैसा काम चल रहा है भैया इधर? It is one of the sites located here, one of the construction sites located here in Sarojini Nagar, wherein the construction work was underway. When we tried to speak to the people here, the guards here, 3 to 4 guards specifically have been assigned for that, and they denied that any such activity was being undertaken. While we tried to speak to the laborers also when they were on this particular crane thing, and when we tried to confront them, they ran away. Let's see inside where all people have been deployed here and still working, because people are in hiding. There are many such locations here in the national capital wherein, despite the restrictions, because of the increasing AQI, because of the increasing pollution, despite that, grab 4 restrictions also in the place, people have been working, and it is under the nose of the Delhi government that it is still happening. Mind you, this is one such location. We tried to speak to the people here, but they ran away. We'll try and look out for laborers who ran away when we tried to question them about what they were doing. As you can see, the construction process was in full process, because the smoke and everything is still very much as if they were. It was started very recently. The lights are on. Everybody has just, the moment they got to know that we are here, they've gone into hiding. And it is very clear that under the nose of the Delhi police, the authorities and the Delhi government, the construction works are still underway. This is our report, our exclusive report on Republic TV. This is Soumya Jaiswal with Vijay Yashpal.
There are multiple violations. If you look at the report, and I want to go across to Soumya, who did this investigation. Soumya, multiple violations. In fact, I have the notification that was put out in my hand, right? Heavy vehicles were not allowed. Construction activity not allowed, right? Construction material not allowed into the national capital. Public projects not allowed. Multiple violations. How many locations did you go to? And can you tell us the nature and scale of this construction activity that you saw in the heart of Delhi?
Well, first we started from Sarojini Nagar, and the first 3 reports that you saw on our screen, the first 3 reports are from Sarojini Nagar itself. And these 3 locations that we're talking about, where we barged into the construction locations and we tried to confront the workers there and get a sense as to, despite the restrictions, how is it possible that the construction works were still taking place there. So it was clear that everybody involved there were aware that yes, restrictions are in place and they are not allowed. Despite that, there were attempts made so that they can fool people into thinking that there is no such construction work is underway, because there were cutouts also pasted outside all of these construction places saying that work closed or restriction in place because of the NGT and no construction happening. So several such cutouts were also in place. Multiple guards were also deployed in all of these construction locations in Sarojini Nagar itself. 3 to 4 guards in each and every location.
Yeah.
They used to confirm that no such construction work is taking place, but the moment they saw our cameras or the mics, they ran. So it is if we talk about just Sarojini Nagar itself, there were multiple such locations.
Okay.
We investigated 3 such locations. Then we had central Delhi, the heart of Delhi, wherein we have all the senior leaders also staying there. We have the Prime Minister staying there. We saw a central government project that was underway. Government deployed security officials. When questioned, they tried to dodge our questions, and the laborers, however, who were present there, they said that they have the grant from the government, and hence the construction work is being undertaken at these locations. So there are multiple such locations. However, the question is that despite the restriction in a place, what is the government doing with regards to implementation?
Okay, stay with me. I'm quickly getting a word from Shavan. Shavan, does anything give them special, permission?
Well, in fact, if you simply go by the notice that has already been issued with the imposition of GRAP, there is no such mention of any sort of special permission as what has been indicated by some of the security guards there, that there is a special permission to carry out the construction. Now, if you simply go by the notice, in fact, perhaps Niranjan, you have the full details there. It makes a clear mention, and I'm just going to read out here as far as construction activities are concerned. They say, and I'm quoting, all construction and demolition activities are banned, including linear public projects such as highways, roads, flyovers, power transmission lines, pipelines, and telecom work, which are otherwise allowed in lower stages. Now, the reality is this, that had it been a lower stage of GRAP, then perhaps the construction would have been allowed. Now, this is the final GRAP stage that we are looking at, and there is a stricture that is already put in place by the government itself. Now, what you're looking at is a situation where you have projects. These are projects that have been undertaken in the heart of the national capital, and it seems that the security guards with whom we spoke to, and we have caught those construction activities on our cameras, and they're clearly saying that there is a special permission. We are waiting for the Delhi government to tell us, perhaps enlighten us as to what kind of a special permission is actually allowed when the entire city is reeling under this kind of toxic air.
Yeah, Shavan and Soumya, thank you for joining us with that report. Soumya, it's a reality check. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to follow up. We are not going to leave this story here. We will continue to investigate. And I'm moving focus now, shifting focus from Delhi to Dhaka. From Delhi to Dhaka right now, ladies and gentlemen, where Bangladesh has witnessed intense unrest late last night, overnight, following the death of a youth leader by the name of Sharif Usman Hadi. Mobs have attacked media houses, political offices, cultural institutions, private residences, widespread vandalism across Bangladesh, roads being blocked, and even as we speak, thousands of people are on the streets. I'm going across straight with the pictures to Veena Sikri. Veena Sikri, he is reportedly one of the brains behind the Greater Bangladesh so-called map, etc., and a vocal anti-India activist. Now, he gets shot in the middle of Dhaka. India has nothing to do with it. Why are these radicals being unleashed by Dhaka on our embassy and our ambassador?
Well, I must say that firstly, yes, he was, one of the people who's been doing the map. He's inciting anti-India hatred right throughout. We do know also that the so-called July uprising was no revolution. It was no student spontaneous uprising. It was a very well planned, as Yunus said, meticulously designed regime change operation with Jamaat-e-Islami in full control. Now, Jamaat-e-Islami and the other Islamist organizations are still calling all the shots. Now, they're using this instance of the attack on this leader who has now died, Usman Hadi, to bring in anti-Indianism. Within seconds of this attack on him, they had called in the Indian High Commissioner in Dhaka and told him that India has done this and so on. And we know that every person whom you call from Bangladesh will say that. You know, this person is in India, we want him back. Sheikh Hasina is in India, we want her back. So this is a deliberate attempt to fan anti-Indianism and to disguise the fact that Muhammad Yunus is unable to control the situation in Bangladesh. There is complete anarchy throughout Bangladesh. In fact, to protect the Indian Assistant High Commission office in Chittagong, the army is there. The army is being deployed because the law and order situation, and Sheikh Muhammad Yunus himself is totally unable to control this mobocracy, this anarchy that he has himself instigated. And I think what is even more shocking, that all your channels should also be focusing on what is happening to the minorities. Last night, in Bangladesh, a Hindu youth of 30 years old was beaten to death. His body was tied to a stick in the ground, and he was burnt. Now, the thing is, this kind of deliberate attacks on minorities, this attempt to push out the minorities, this determination to bring in a Sharia law in Bangladesh, a caliphate in Bangladesh, is part of their strategy. And they're hiding the fact that the majority of Bangladesh has now turned against Muhammad Yunus. They're wanting to have, limited elections, excluding Awami League, including Jatiyo Party and others, because they want to bring in a fake kind of a regime where they will be able to bring in Sharia law. They want to bring in the Jamaat-e-Islami. Whereas what they should be doing, as India has told them categorically, we must have free, fair, inclusive and therefore credible elections. Without credible elections, the people of Bangladesh were not going to be satisfied. Instability will continue, insecurity will continue. This is all part of that. You're just focusing on one aspect. You're not talking about what is happening in the other part of the country. The way the Indian positions in Rajshahi, in Kulna, in Chittagong, and earlier in Dhaka are being attacked. The way the minorities are being burnt to death, lynched and burnt to death. And there's not a word about that. I'm absolutely amazed that this fake kind of contrived violence by the mobocracy, blaming it on India and saying we want the kill of Osman Hadi or else, this is not at all the story. Has there been evidence given that somebody has killed, somebody from India has been involved? India has called in the Bangladesh High Commission and categorically told him that there is no question of India being involved and please have free, fair and inclusive elections.
Absolutely.
That is what is under control.
Ma'am, I want to tell you that we've reported about Deepu Chandra. I think you were referring to Deepu Chandra, who was lynched and then his body was set ablaze. We've shown those pictures as well, and we are reporting live from Dhaka, by the way. So we will be putting out those pictures as well, and a comprehensive report of all, the incidents of violence and where Indians specifically and Indian symbols, Indian locations, Indian people have been targeted, and minorities especially are being targeted in Bangladesh. We have a comprehensive report coming up in just a few minutes. Ambassador Veena Sikri, thank you for joining us on the live report. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. That's all the time we had on the live report this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are taking a short break.